You are most welcome to the Eco Life podcast. This is an initiative of the Ecological Christian Organization and Marathon Advertising. Today we are in Kampala at our studio, and we are delighted to have the theme, Voices of Change, Young Leaders Driving Climate Justice in Uganda. And today we want to understand what really youth are doing in the climate change space. Across Uganda and the continent, youth are not just participating, but they are leading climate action. They are not only writing stories, they are not only telling these stories, but they are really meaning it, that they need the future to protect, and also they need to be on the round tables where discussions and also decisions are made. And on my side, I'm having two guests. Winnie Mirembe, a climate activist, a passionate advocate for climate action, youth empowerment leader in Kampala, and also who has worked with a number of civil society organizations, leading youth initiatives in informal settlements like Mbuya and also in Kampala. On another side, I'm having Godwin Mayanja. Godwin is leading Climate YES and also is driving a number of climate action in schools, working with religious organizations, and also making sure that he participates in the number of events, for example, the Climate Action Week in Nairobi, the Climate Action Summit in Ethiopia, which ended in 2025 in October, and also he has been doing a number of actions within the community. So to start with you, Winnie Mirembe, what has been your journey in this climate space? And also, how have you evolved?
Thank you so much, Luganda. And I would like to really extend my heartfelt gratitude to the team of EcoLive and then the Marathon team for hosting us today. I'm really glad. Well, my name is Mirembe Winnie, and I'm a passionate youth advocate. And my experience is in the areas of climate action and community wash, water sanitation and hygiene. And what really sparked my passion for climate justice was when I really witnessed how the climate crisis affects communities, grassroots communities. I saw firsthand how the impacts of climate change affect the livelihoods of people, the vulnerable populations that we are in, like in Mbuya too. So that really inspired me to take action. It intrigued me to take action because I desired to see positive change. And it started when I was the project coordinator of the Ghetto Go Green project in Mbuya too. And I started to see, I was exposed to the climate vulnerabilities of my community. And there I also joined the youth advocacy structure of Mbuya too, and it's initiated by the Community Integrated Development Initiative, that is CD. So while working in the community, I realized I got to understand the climate issues, and that inspired me to take action. I really said I need to take action on this. There's something I can do. I can also play a role in evoking sustainability, and that really pushed me to take action and create positive change in my community.
Oh, thank you so much, Winnie. We see the number of works you have been doing within the informal community of Mbuya, even in Kampala, the ghetto projects you have been working on, and also the WASH projects.
Yeah.
But to leave that, let us also go to our colleague so that we can have Godwill. Let's begin with your personal journeys, and also what sparked you to start the climate justice, and also to start involving a number of communities, youth and children. Really, what sparked you?
Thank you very much, David. My name is Godwin, and as he said, I'm the national coordinator of Climate YES, which is a global movement that brings the youth in Christian faith to advocate for our environment through climate justice and climate change action. Yeah, we are doing very well. Personally, this is my 5th year in this journey. I was introduced by a colleague called Erasto Magamba in 2020. after meeting him in a conference, and we became friends and exchanged numbers. So when he came back from COP 26, he invited me for a meeting. And I remember we had several meetings, and it's from those meetings that we came with an idea of starting this movement that later became global movement. And from then, I realized as a Christian, it's my divine role to participate in conserving the environment, because if I don't do it, no one else will do. So as a divine role, that's what actually inspired me most, that I have to come up and defend what the Almighty God gave us. And God is good that I'm here. Thank you very much.
Godwin, also I would want to know really that you're speaking about the divine role the Lord has given to you and the opportunity. How are you promoting climate justice into that line? Maybe you can also tell us what is climate justice according to you.
Yes, personally, climate justice is about equality, compensation of someone has done something. He should be able to come and provide a solution for it, or give an accountability of what the action he's doing. I really like it with this current development of every project to be done. There is a need of a cost-benefit analysis, which should be done appropriately, so as for every activity someone does, it should be able to cover the third party who is not directly involved in the conversation of or in the act of what is being done. So as, yes, you've done the project successfully, another person who has not actually directly involved in it has also benefited without compromise. So I understand that it's about having equality and justice, about whatever you do, there must be equality, there must be accountability, and there must be justice.
We are speaking about equality, equity, being accountable, and also making sure that you really deliver exactly how do the people feel within the community, what are you delivering. So we see that Climate Yes has been working in schools and also on the prior information and also conversation we have had. And also we see that really equality needs to go everywhere within the schools and the spaces we are working. And maybe we can come back later on that. But I also want to engage Winnie Mirembe on exactly, you have worked closely with the communities, as mentioned earlier in your introduction. What are some of the standout youth-led initiatives you have really made into this community, the tangible works you have worked on, and also linking it to climate justice?
Right, thank you so much for that question. Indeed, young people are so passionate, very ambitious when it comes to climate action, and I've seen that. And some of the innovations that young people are really doing is advocacy. Speaking about the challenges that we are facing when it comes to the climate crisis, flooding, extreme weather events, the heat, the young people have come up with bold solutions, great solutions to adapt to this crisis. We have innovations. Where I come from in Mbuya, to even working closely with Network for Active Citizens, young people were trained to do urban farming. So you use discarded materials, plastic waste, textile waste, to organize planters for planting in. So we do urban farming. We also raise seedlings, collards, spinach, amaranthus to support urban farming. That is a green initiative. It's a green innovation. Actually, in my organization, I'm the founder of the Mbuya Community Development Network. So in our organization, we have a climate adaptation strategy, and it's on beating plastic pollution and also mitigating the waste crisis. So we upcycle plastic to make jewelry, like this that I'm wearing. We make ornamentals, we make interior decoration from waste, textile waste, plastic waste. We also support urban farming. We design planters, compelling ones with art, and we sell them. So we support urban farming as well. We also make flower vessels from textile waste. Normally, we organize cleanups quarterly. So in the cleanups, we encourage community people to collect waste, sort waste, and this is the waste that we upcycle and repurpose. So we repurpose textile waste, the clothes that we collect in the communities, to make flower vessels, and we sell them to make money. So it's really enhancing economic resilience among the young people, and also promoting stewardship when it comes to our environment, and also waste management. So that's what we do. And then I've seen innovations in the networks I've been in. There are bamboo innovations, and bamboo is good at mitigating and absorbing carbon dioxide. We understand that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, and we have our targets as Kampala City to reduce emissions by 22% by 2030. So youth are coming up with innovations on how to reduce carbon capturing. So the bamboo innovations, we've seen the bamboo group, it's located in Kamwanyi. They make bamboo cups, they make quite a number of things, interior decoration from bamboo. So these innovations are helping to mitigate the climate crisis. Yes, and also when it comes to advocacy, it's a great innovation as well, speaking about the challenges that we are facing and also provoking action from stakeholders. I've been engaged in quite a number of community youth dialogues that have been organized by NAC and then also CD engaging us. So right now, young people are articulating issues that are affecting communities in regards to the climate crisis before stakeholders evoking action. For example, when we read about the policy implementation gaps, the KCCA climate change adaptation strategy, it has quite a number of implementation gaps, the solid waste ordinance. These are equipping young people with the skills on how to advocate and push for action, and see that leaders also come out to support climate action. Yes, so these are the things that young people are doing, and we are not sitting, we are boldly taking action. We want to see change and positive change.
Really, I'm enjoying what you are saying to the globe and also everyone who's watching, because we see EcoLive is being watched globally, not only here in Uganda but also in Africa. But I also want to see how can really people come and see what is on ground, and visit you. I'm very happy and also delighted that you are using, you are making climate change in a positive way. You are innovating, you are recycling, you are reusing, you are repurposing these, what we call waste.
Actually, we also have projects on green energy, renewable energy.
Okay.
So we have projects on reducing agricultural waste in the communities, because we are grappling with a waste crisis. As Kampala, we saw the Chitezi landfill. It collapsed, people died, and we see methane being produced from the landfill. Right now, we are from Chitezi, we are to Buyala, it's almost full of waste. But strategies on sorting and segregating waste to see that agricultural waste is separate, the food waste is separate, it's used or repurposed for a particular thing, plastic is not mixed up. So after sorting that, we've seen young people, even in my organization, we have a project on green energy for women and youth resilience. So we convert agricultural waste to make energy efficient briquettes, eco-friendly briquettes that we use for cooking. And we also have a project where we train the young people to make energy efficient cook stoves. So it's really a good innovation on reducing waste and also mitigating the waste crisis that we are grappling with here in Kampala.
Winnie, thank you so much for that, and also you have really brought out what really the youth are doing, and also the strategies yourself you're implementing on ground, and also what other youth can do really into the climate space. But also I've been seeing a number of, we see waste in Kampala, our culture of throwing rubbish, water bottles within the compound and also on the streets. Really, we want to see that youth come up as champions, as people who agitate for climate justice. You know, climate justice, which is equity and also accountability. Drinking a bottle of water, then you throw it away. It's something which is weird and also in-mannered within our community. But we see it happening. And I would love to also thank you that really you have led a number of initiatives. Thank you so much, and we shall begin on that. But also, Mr. Mayanja, Godwin, we want to see Climate Yes has mobilized youth across Uganda in schools and also both primary and also secondary schools in the religious fraternity. So what strategies have helped you to build such a strong movement as Climate Yes? Because we see you have really have impact on ground.
Thank you very much, David. I want to, for the purposes of clarity on that question, I want to first take you through our leadership structure.
Yeah.
Then, because we are strong on leadership as a movement,
yeah,
our movement has a global steering committee that is at a global level. Then after that, we have people from different regions. That's Africa, UK, as I told you, America. Then we also, from that, we have regional committees. Then regional committees, it's where we get hubs, like, for example, the one in Uganda. Yeah, each country has a hub, so each countries are called hubs.
Okay.
Then in those hubs, it's where the magic happens. So every hub at a national level has a leadership team. Then we break it down to, okay, for example, in Uganda, there are regions. Okay. So we have regions in, as you know, west, north, east, as mentioned. Then in those ones, they also have the same, the other structure that goes to, we have church leadership, we have, now as I've said, school leadership, okay, among others. So what has really helped us is we engage at all levels. Because, you know, this climate change journey really needs a grassroots approach.
Okay.
Not AC room meetings, policy making. Yes, they're also important, but the best person who can have a real life ground impact is the person at the grassroots. So Climate Yes, through capacity building and basically capacity building, is we have engaged the youth at all levels. Churches, there is magic in churches.
Okay.
Because church is an organized institution, as you know that.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with organized institutions, they have big capacity and potential. One, they have resources that can easily, that are sustainable and not so much far-fetching. And they also cooperative in a way. So Climate Yes, through capacity building meetings, clear leadership structures, and involving every person at the grassroots, has grown to now we are in about, if I count very well, in about 16 countries now.
Oh.
Yeah, from the small meetings we had at the beginning, 16 countries. For schools, if I can tell you what we've done so far, is that we have planted 2 forests. Now I think that tree is about making 1.5 meters tall. The trees that we planted in Masulita on a church land. For club schools, I want to be so intentional on this. There we emphasize that learners should start immediately about conserving things at home: water, energy, and food. Because in agriculture, you know, that is very paramount, especially in the city setup. So we teach kids to know when to switch off lights. It is not okay to leave lights on when you're not in the room. It's not okay to have water flowing when your hands are not on the tap, or maybe if you're showering, your body is not on the tap. Yeah. It is not okay to leave food on the plate. You serve what you can manage. If you can't, it's not okay.
I've really seen normally on parties in Africa, in Uganda and also other countries, normally whenever we go for buffets, everyone is putting on a lot of food and also picking everything, even what they don't eat. And in the end, you see food is being wasted. But we see under the research of Food and Agriculture Organization, over 80% of the food is being wasted in Africa. And also we want to see where is food wasted, from the garden, from the markets, and also even on our plate. But to see that Climate Yes is bringing such initiatives to start with the children, I see something which is good and also something which is excellent, because our fight is to see that we start with the young ones, to see that they are the future leaders, to protect this environment, to protect the food, and also have secure spaces. So on that, I want to add on something. What activities really, climate action activities, are really tangible on ground you are doing in this school? Because you have said that mindset change on how to live with the environment, switch off the light, energy, so you need not to waste the energy and also the water. So what other things?
So other things we're doing in schools is that we do waste separation.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have paper, like in a school setting, most of the common waste is paper, food, and sometimes, the plastics.
The plastics,
Yeah,
yes.
plastics. So after separating that waste, learners participate in recycling activities.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, they do from paper, they design paper bags, which actually they are now, I think, by end of this year, we're expecting to have a workshop where parents come and then we have kids selling those paper
They
bags.
sell and get some money.
Get some money
that's something which is good.
For sustaining the club. Okay. Then from plastics, we actually have someone who comes and takes it, like people. We have a partnership with a company that comes and takes the plastics that we get from school, which was not there originally as a beginning of the case. Then we also have debates which are climate change oriented.
Okay.
Yeah, we make sure that we arrange kids who write in those debates. We have other competitions like public speaking, poem writing, and speaking. So in that, we have kids, as we said in the beginning, having this thing on their heart, competing but for impact.
Oh, wow.
Competing for knowledge. In our school, we also have a subject which I was teaching originally called environmental management.
Okay.
Yeah, so teaching environmental management as a subject in the school is another addition to what we are fighting for, which basically aims at the three conservation pillars that are common of us: reuse, recycle, and reduce, which are also very key. So we are doing some among other activities, but that's what we are doing with schools right now, and it is I don't know if you realize this, like every young person interested in this thing, they pick up easily. I don't know if it's my observation.
Really, and maybe to add on that, we see that when you want to impact society, you start at the young age. Even the values we have today, I myself, the values I have, even the viewers who an audience who's watching us, the values you have, they were impacted into you when you were young.
True.
You can't get maybe integrity, having integrity, passion, having the love of one another, extending it to the love to environment. It is something which was impacted when one is young. So if we see climate years starting at a young age, it's something which is something excellent. And also under the UNFCCC, there is what they call climate and education. And how are we really reaching the school? But I also wanted to know, the audience wants to know, how are you really engaging in climate and education? How are you working with the curriculum? So are you also agitating to see that really the curriculum can change, and also we add in climate change into what is being taught in schools?
That's a thing, actually. That's a thing that has always been on my mind. You realize that we have different subjects in the curriculums that we take on. But if you look at the nature of the design of those subjects, if we don't come up and advocate for policies or frameworks that can incorporate climate change and climate justice when it is still early, it may be too late. Most people, this is my observation, most people currently are aiming at having climate change related courses at a higher level.
Yeah.
Which is also okay for the beginning, but there should be a very clear path designed very well to be able to have climate change education be put in the the local curriculums and setups. So as one, kids grow up knowing, just like we grow up knowing that when you grow up you get a job and you work.
Yeah.
That kids need to grow knowing that it is your personal responsibility to conserve the environment you're staying in. You've been talking about people throwing bottles after drinking. That is normal to Ugandan. Who doesn't?
No, we need to stop that so that it is
because
not normal.
They are doing it out of ignorance.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So the earlier we design policies, the earlier we explained most of these terms and in this climate change that are made by professors at the university to the local people, the early, because it may be too late if we want to curb this thing in the near future, because the impacts may be overwhelming by then. Yeah.
We have seen that we need to see that our children, they really start at the early age in the climate and education space to start understanding, not only teaching them, but also making it a behavior change and also making it a culture within their schools to see that, no, this forest was our forest, this tree was in the school and giving us shade, giving us fruits, we are benefiting from it. And we need to teach, as we teach other cultures or we teach other manners to our children, we need also to start telling them the impacts of climate change. What are really the floods? What is a drought? What happens when a drought happens? Or why are you getting less food? Why are you wasting food? So that even we start getting, asking for exactly what we can consume. So climate, yes, I'm very happy for that. But also, I want to go on barriers because you can't work in the community where there are no challenges. We know challenges are there, but we need to make sure that we turn into positive or turn them into action. So what are the biggest challenges young leaders? Here we are on leadership. You're a young leader, you have been working in the space. So what are some of the challenges young leaders face today? And how do you overcome these challenges?
Yeah. So one of the limiting factors of meaningful and effective youth participation in climate action is limited funding for resources. In order to take on innovations, we have climate leaders that are in innovation, the things I talked about earlier. So, for example, the activities we are doing in regards to waste management, waste to energy, we need to scale them up. We need to scale the innovations. But if we do not have the funding to help us scale the innovations into other communities, then it's limiting climate action. And as engaging with stakeholders from the division, Nakara division, and we have a policy running right now, the PDM, the Parish Development Model. We desire that these government models also prioritize funding for the green initiatives, the green innovations, because these are the ones that we need in our time. We need this to be prioritized for funding so that we scale them up in the different communities. We saw that we are grappling with the waste crisis. The climate crisis needs urgent attention. The plastic pollution, all these need urgent attention. And if we have people, young people, who are innovating and helping to reduce waste in the communities, helping to push for climate action, why not prioritize them and include them in financing? So it's also a limiting factor, and we also urgently encourage government, the Parish Development Model. We thank you because right now it's on the agricultural value chain, but we have these initiatives still. Initiatives in renewable energy, we need them to be funded so that we scale them up. They're really essential in our time. When we really, sorry for interrupting, when we really speak about climate finance, you're picking finance, but I'll add on climate finance. Really, what is that finance for? One will ask you that whenever. Right. So when it comes to green financing, climate financing, we have initiatives or innovations, businesses, the green economy, businesses in circularity. These are businesses that promote an economic resilience still, but then they help to preserve, conserve, and protect the environment from negativity. So businesses, initiatives that promote greening, but they reduce on the harm on the environment, the impact on our health as human beings, the ecosystem, biodiversity as a whole, but as well enhancing economic resilience. So climate financing comes in such innovations that protect, conserve the environment and also our health and human beings.
Oh, thank you for that. And Godwin, what are some of the challenges, the biggest challenges young leaders? Here we are into leadership. Really, you're a leader, and also you have had the number of actions you have been telling us. So what are some of the challenges, and what are some of how do you overcome that?
Okay, thank you very much, David. I'll just tell you at a personal level what I've seen, what I've observed. This climate change space has been misused or misperceived by most youth, thinking it's a money-making venture. They come with intentions not for the environment, but for intentions which are personal. But personally, how I've solved that, how I've dealt with that, I make sure by the time I put you on my team, or by the time I onboard you, I preach to you the gospel. I tell you this is not about money, it's about your natural role. Just like you're a father in a home, you have to provide. We are put on this planet Earth to protect it. So it's a natural role. That's the thing I tell you before we deal with any dealing. Then the next thing is it has kind of been politicized.
Okay.
The politicization of this climate change.
How has that been?
This has happened in a way of in terms of access of funds, in terms of mobilization of an event. People. Okay, let me so be clear. If you arrange a climate change event,
okay,
government wants to see how many people are coming, so as we can come and mobilize for. Oh, if you have to invite a politician because, to me, this should be a thing. In my perception, climate change space should be a thing of devotion and. It is a holy calling. I don't want to speak so much.
No, you can go.
A theologian, but that's what is on my heart. If we come to conserve the environment, it should be a thing of it is from within me. It's not about which party do I belong to, which community do I belong to, because as you very well know, that the effects of climate change they are not segregative.
Yeah, there are no boundaries.
There are no boundaries
on climate change effects. Everyone is affected.
You are an African. You are from wherever you come from. You're educated this much. I'm not educated. Climate change effects are not segregative. So it is a thing that should be collective. It should be a thing that should be devotional. And it should be a thing that should be prioritized, or else it may be hard for us to break through.
No, on that, I really loved what you are telling our audience, but also on mentorship. From that, do you see that? Do we need mentorship for the youth leaders, future leaders, to really come and take up the space? Or one has to just come in and start action and also do that? What has been your approach?
Thank you. I have a testimony about that. Me personally, as I shared, I was mentored into this space by now two people. The first one I've said was Erasto, then now Paul, who actually gave me this seat of national youth leadership. What I want to also, since you've asked me this, what I want to also make so clear to the audience is that whenever you're in a position, especially in this climate change space, make sure you have at least two people who can do exactly what you're doing. When you're invited for a conference, when you're participating in any event related to climate change, invite that one person who exhibits characteristics of passion, commitment. Show them exactly what you're doing. If you're writing that proposal for a project, call them, show them how you're writing it. If you're facing any challenge, like, show it to them. Because I believe if we don't make the strides very clear, the thing will get off. And that's the thing I was telling you, that people come in this space with selfish interests. Because you feel if you teach that person how to write a proposal, if you teach that person, okay, if you take the person to meet the funder, they met. You get what I'm trying to say? So mentorship is very paramount. We can't ignore it in this space. At least 2 people who can do exactly what you are doing.
I've loved your approach of mentorship and also of making sure that we guide fellow youth to come up into this space. And also, I want to go to Winnie. You're into this gender aspect. Do you really see that mentorship is critical to see that women can rise up into this space, they can lead initiatives? Because we see a challenge that few youth initiatives in Africa have really risen up with structures, and also this hinders climate justice.
Exactly.
Yeah, can start on
exactly. Thank you so much. Normally we say that there's no climate justice without climate education, but the most vulnerable populations that are most affected by the climate crisis lack sufficient information or knowledge about the climate crisis, how it affects them, and the role they can play in being a solution. So it's really essential to have the capacity of these populations, the women, the youth, the children, to have their capacity built so that they can also provoke action for themselves. Most of the time, the people who are most pressed by the climate crisis are the ones that have the most viable solutions to this crisis. So if we involve the women, the youth, they have much more bold solutions. And it's been one of the limiting factors of effective and meaningful participation in this climate sector, whereby young people lack the capacity or they are not built enough to be able to provoke action. You know, it comes so much, power comes so much, the ability to influence decisions or action comes so much when you're equipped with information. We understand that knowledge is power. So we limit the power of the women or the youth by limiting their knowledge on the climate crisis. So we need to have them filled with the knowledge, understand really what the climate crisis is and the role they can play in providing solutions for the climate crisis. Yeah.
So mentorship is critical.
It's really key.
For both youth, all the spaces where we are.
Yes.
We need to see that ourselves, we really mentor others because we were mentored and given that opportunity.
But just briefly, okay. you were asking about the challenge, and I thought of this because young people can be so much divided. So when it comes to the SDGs, you're in climate action, you go to 13, after you jump to another one. So your availability in the climate space can limit your power to influence. So it's also a big challenge for the young people. We need to be intentional about climate action. Find a niche and grow in that. Develop in climate. Do not allow to be divided because it will limit your concentration. But if you concentrate, have a niche in this climate space, if it's on climate mitigation, if you desire to be in adaptation, if you desire to be an innovator, concentrate on that and grow in that. It will really accelerate your impact in the space. So allow to be teachable and be available. We need to also allow to be mentored. Yes, so it's been a limiting factor for us, also a challenge for the young people. So I encourage us to be intentional about our growth in the climate space. It will really amplify our action.
Wow, thank you. So we are diving into the global policies and also regional policies. And we want to see that we have just concluded the Africa Climate Week in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, and also the Africa Climate Summit, which came out after the Africa Climate Week. And also we see that the Africa Climate Week and Summit prepare us for the UNFCCC Conference of Parties, which is COP30, which is going to take place in Brazil, Belém. So we want to see that as youth, and Godwin, you got an opportunity to be at the summit and also see what really the youth are doing, the discussions. So as we having this conversation, what role should youth play in shaping the continental agenda, and how are we preparing the youth for that space? Because everywhere we see justice has to happen within. So what role can the youth play there?
Thank you very much. And personally, I got a chance, as you said, to be in that Africa Climate Summit. But before Africa Climate Summit, you very well know that we did a local conference of youth here in Uganda.
Yes.
Which was a training ground for us. So one of the things is that I went in that Africa Climate Summit very ready and prepared. And what really is more important is that we had a children and youth statement that was presented under the youth docket, and that is one of the ways that youth voices can be amplified to such regional platforms. And personally, what I believe in is for every event like that Africa Climate Summit we attended, we need to pass on the information. One of the limitations is that few youth get chances to be in such big platforms, but when they come back, they don't engage with the rest. They don't act. So, as Africa, as Climate YES, as a global movement, we are preparing 3 youths to go and represent in the Conference of Parties in Brazil, and this is how we are doing it. We have mobilized all our teams in Africa to come up with to present the results from the Africa Climate Summit, and 2, we have had several online webinars to train, to talk to the 3 youths who are going. We are looking at arranging a pavilion and as a side event. Then in that, it's where we are going to determine which topics we are going to talk about.
Okay.
And we have teams who are on ground to arrange for that. So personally, I got a chance to contribute to the Global Youth Statement under the working group of Yango called Agriculture and Climate Change. Okay. So that is another way how youth can. So these platforms are there.
So you are encouraging fellow youth maybe to go to Yango website so that they can register to be under those working groups? How can they do that maybe?
One, you go to websites of Yango and register as a member. I think membership for now is closed. So once you register as a member, you get a chance to have always go for a newsletter will come in on your email.
Okay.
So you choose which part you're interested in. Me personally, I'm interested in agriculture and then movement, migration.
Okay.
So that's where I am. So in that, your voice can be heard. Then in that also, by going to the website, you can learn. Going on websites, you can also see what's happening in other countries.
Okay.
You get to connect to other global leaders and have influence there. So leaders, youth leaders can, 1, find platforms online. Okay. 2, locally participate in conferences, especially the ones at a national level that are policy agendaized. Then also support one another. These are the things for us we do. Like, if I know David is going to attend COP, it's okay to say let's do this for David because he's going on a great cause.
It's the finances for COP expensive.
Yeah.
And I know there are virtual platforms to watch COP, but also participating physically is an experience. Sure. I myself have got an opportunity of participating in 3 COPs, but also what about giving an opportunity for other people to see that they can also really participate, and having that heart of Ubuntu is something which is good to see that helping one another so that they can really also have that experience, something which could, but also to add on that, what role should youth play in shaping the continental agenda, and how are we preparing the youth for that space? Because everywhere we see justice has to happen within. So what role can the youth play there?
Thank you very much. And personally, I got a chance, as you said, to be in that Africa Climate Summit. But before Africa Climate Summit, you very well know that we did a local conference of youth here in Uganda.
Yes.
Which was a training ground for us. So one of the things is that I went in that Africa Climate Summit very ready and prepared. And what really is more important is that we had a children and youth statement that was presented under the youth docket, and that is one of the ways that youth voices can be amplified to such regional platforms. And personally, what I believe in is for every event like that Africa Climate Summit we attended, we need to pass on the information. One of the limitations is that few youth get chances to be in such big platforms, but when they come back, they don't engage with the rest, they don't act. So, as Africa, as Climate Yes, as a global movement, we are preparing 3 youths to go and represent in the Conference of Parties in Brazil, and this is how we are doing it. We have mobilized all our teams in Africa to come up with present the results from the Africa Climate Summit, and 2, we have had several online webinars to train, to talk to the 3 youths who are going. We are looking at arranging a pavilion and as a side event. Then in that, it's where we are going to determine which topics we are going to talk about.
Okay.
And we have teams who are on the ground to arrange for that. So personally, I got a chance to contribute to the Global Youth Statement under the working group of Yango called Agriculture, Climate Change. Okay. So that is another way how youth can. So these platforms are there.
So you are encouraging fellow youth maybe to go to Yango website so that they can register to be under those working groups? How can they do that maybe?
Yeah. One, you go to websites of Yango and register as a member. I think membership for now is closed. So once you register as a member, you get a chance to have always go for a newsletter will come in on your email.
Okay.
So you choose which part you're interested in. Me personally, I'm interested in agriculture and then movement, migration.
Okay.
So that's where I am. So in that, your voice can be heard. Then in that also, by going to the website, you can learn. Going on websites, you can also see what's happening in other countries.
Okay.
You get to connect to other global leaders and have influence there. So leaders, youth leaders can, 1, find platforms online. Okay. 2, locally participate in conferences, especially the ones that are national level, that are policy agendaized. Then also support one another. These are the things for us we do. Like, if I know David is going to attend COP, it's okay to say let's do this for David because he's going on a great cause.
It's the finances for COP expensive.
Yeah.
And I know there are virtual platforms to watch COP, but also participating physically is an experience. Sure. I myself have got an opportunity of participating in 3 COPs, but also what about giving an opportunity for other people to see that they can also really participate, and having that heart of Ubuntu is something which is good to see that helping one another so that they can really also have that experience, something which good. But also to add on that, what messages should African youth and also African youth carry to COP 30, as you have said? What message can we really take there?
What is on my heart is basically two things that African youth should actually go and advocate for. As someone was saying recently, that most African youth, when they go to COP30, they go for selfies, they go to take photos and post on their WhatsApp status. That shouldn't be among the reasons you should really go to COP. But let's think about this. One of the things we need to talk about is climate justice.
Okay.
Because you're meeting those guys that are real...
The world leaders.
The world leaders. And you're meeting the countries that are the main contributors to emissions that are escalating every day. So we need to strategize and be organized and have one voice, that when we meet those leaders, global leaders, we are very straightforward that we are from Africa. We know how they define us. We are from low-developed countries.
Yes.
You guys have been the polluters, main polluters. So where is the justice? Where is the compensation? All right? That is one of the questions that should be asked on COP30. The second one is that after COP, let's have clear and find activities and projects and unity that will bring us together and have more intended engagements, that whatever we've learned, whatever we've gained from COP, when we come back, we lay it on ground through capacity building, even mitigation practices and adaptation, among others. Instead of just going, you come back with your phone full of photos and you have no action on ground. Yeah.
So we want to see that really youth present the position papers, what really they want, and also the negotiations can really follow what negotiations are taking place. So maybe to finalize on that, what pavilions and also other, do you have some topics which you are going to present or discuss at COP? Maybe one or two.
Yeah, So we are going to collaborate with TIA Fund, and we are looking at organizing a side event, which will bring faith-based organizations to discuss the role of church and church in climate change.
Okay.
And also, we are looking at having another one which will bring about youth from Africa, like intending as Africa, on how we can make collaborations which are long-term in this space. So basically, those are the two side events we are looking at. And we have made, so far, I can confidently say we've made very laid up collaborations. And our team is, I think, recently we meet every 3 times a month to prepare the team that is going.
Oh, thank you so much. And also to Winnie, I want to see that if we speak about Conference of Parties, this is the 30th session. We started with COP1, now we're on 30, which is going to happen in Brazil. And we want to see that really these engagements are on mainly emissions, who is emitting what, Africa we are not emitting, and also we know what happens in negotiations.
Yes.
Whenever you are negotiating, you have to listen to what other parties telling us. And as a youth, a climate action specialist working with a number of youth, and also what message should African youth carry to COP30, especially in terms of justice and equity and also the climate finance? Thank you.
Oh, yes. I'm glad you really mentioned a word on Ubuntu.
Yeah.
I am because you are because we are. So when it comes to the climate space, it's not about competition or fighting one another. It's about collaboration. So as we go for COP30, as the youth from Africa, we really stand ready to make meaningful contribution towards Africa's climate resilience, towards our nationally determined contributions, towards the green transition. And we know that the climate crisis needs urgent attention, so we are not waiting. we are boldly taking steps. We are coming up with solutions and innovations. That's why we call on world leaders to join us in this as Africa. Act with us, believe in us, and we urge you to fund us. Because if we contribute minimal towards the global emission, not more than 4%. So we need to be, if it comes with climate justice or fairness, the most oppressed countries need to be funded so that we can build our resilience in order to adapt to the climate shocks. So we need to be funded, and we call on world leaders to fund us.
So you're speaking about climate financing,
yes.
funding, and we see all the time from $100 billion pledge
yes.
to 300, and now we've seen Bellam, 1.3 billion pledge is coming out to see. But when will Africa really, and also the low-developed countries, which contribute less than 4%, really get this climate finance?
True.
And also, maybe as we are concluding, and also making sure that our audience really understand this, that we can't leave this discussion without speaking about ecology and also ecological and also the Christianity part. So what are some of the specific actions really? You have mentioned that you are going to have some faith-based meetings and what. So how can ecology really contribute to climate action, and what actions can be done under the rating to the Christian?
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to be so clear on what we've so far done and what I think can be done better. In Christian setting, we have annual events, like we have, the bishop Winnie will come and confirm some people who went a certain course. So in that, we are looking at having, every time the bishop visits, the people he's coming to confirm, plant trees. Like on your day of confirmation, you carry a tree.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it has been done.
Yeah.
The Archbishop is doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a good practice. Then we are also looking at having departments that department, every church have a climate change department.
Okay.
Yes, it shouldn't be trivialized or taken to be light. So every church should have on their committee, especially the youth committee, should have a climate change officer. Then two is that, as I've said, some of the activities we are doing, that the ones we are doing in school, teaching people, the way you can come and tell people to pray, to maybe go to church, to love one another, it should be intentionally incorporated in the sermons and in the teachings that they are doing at church, that it's okay to love your environment. It is your responsibility to protect the environment.
As we love one another,
as we love one another,
as we love our neighbors, we must love our environment, because also the environment is our neighbor, is our friend, is everything.
Imagine loving you when we in a hot, sweaty
no.
Really, So that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You're telling people, give to build God's kingdom.
Okay.
It should also be give towards buying a tree, because what is God's kingdom when you're not conserving the earth?
Nature, it is environment.
So that's how it should be practically, especially in church. Then lastly, it should be that same structure should be put to the next level. All right. Policy making, when you're making, churches and other organizations they have a level of policy and what. So the youth, to protect the ecosystems, should be given chance to participate in the policy making.
Okay.
Yeah, because that is how we are going to have a leveraged platform that, yes, you're the person in authority, I'm my normal youth, so we come together and say this is what we can do, and we agree. I thank you.
So as we conclude on the local, because we have been speaking of the global and also Winnie on your side on the local level, shortly, how do you ensure youth from marginalized or rural areas are included in the climate justice conversation? Really, lastly.
So when it comes to engaging local communities, one of the initiatives the actions we are taking into implementation is having climate education accelerated in the local communities, the grassroots communities, the informal communities, the ghettos. Because right now, most of the information we have about climate, it's in English. And when you go to these grassroots communities, it's really hard to comprehend climate education in English. So together with the Uganda Youth Council, the team I'm working with in Nakawa Division, we are trying to translate climate change education into Luganda, and we are taking on, we have started collaborating with different community-based organizations in Nakawa Division so that we go and have climate conversations and teach communities in Luganda, in the local language they understand, the young people there, so that they can comprehend this crisis and also take action with us. Because Agenda 2030 talks about leaving no one behind, so we do not want to leave them behind.
Your last message or call to action you'd like to share with listeners, our viewers, and also in line of climate justice. Your last message.
So my message to the young people and everyone watching is to know that knowledge is power. You need to be equipped with knowledge sufficiently in order to provoke effective action. To the young person out there who is passionate about climate action, advocacy needs, it's data-driven. If it comes to policy influencing, it is systematic, and you need to have data. You need to be equipped with information of what you're talking about and what you're influencing. If you love climate justice, if you desire that there is green financing, you need to understand the different policies that work in our space. If it's the parish development model, the PDM, understand the implementation gaps in there, what needs to be reviewed, the Kampala climate change action strategy, what is it saying? It has 3 objectives, but what is missing? What are the challenges in there that you can talk to stakeholders, people in government, decision makers in responsible position, so that they can take action on this and also bring positive change to the community. So I call on us to be equipped with knowledge. Knowledge is power, and you can never develop or influence the world before you develop yourself. So you need to fill your cup so that you give from a cup that is overflowing. If it's from knowledge, make sure you're overflowing with knowledge. Equip yourself. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Comrade, your call to action, what do you want to share to our listeners and also especially young people who are passionate about climate justice?
Thank you. I want us to be very specific.
Okay.
The world is shifting in this way. Originally, previously we had the world being on economics, all right?
Yeah.
And economics profit. That's how it has been.
Okay.
But now the world is changing to environment and economics. This is what I'm trying to mean, is that in the near future, if you're taking this one for granted, from what I've already seen, every organization, from government, in government, there are departments for climate change being created.
Okay.
I was talking to one of the policymakers. Every business venture are going to put in place after carrying out a CBA. They check what is your environment action plan. So what I'm trying to say is that in the near future, the thing is on climate change. The thing is on climate action. There will be need of climate officers. There will be in need of climate policymakers. There will be need of climate green investors, green jobs. So if you're used somewhere taking this call for climate change for granted, you're going to be broke in the future when people are busy making money or maybe becoming successful or creating an impact. Then as a Christian individual, environment is a thing that will bless you. If you want a blessing from God, you do God's work.
Okay.
So environment is God's creation. So protect it and God will reward you. Even if rewards are not so maybe seen, but with time, rewards will be seen. Let me give this testimony. As I said, I started in 2020. I didn't earn any money, I didn't eat anything, but I want to tell you that I've recently traveled to the world because of climate change. I don't have a salary, but I've made friends. Most of my most important friends in life, I've gotten them from climate change space. So if you're youth out there thinking this is a joke, you're going to be backward, you're going to be broke, and you're going to be wanting to learn or to join this space when it is very hard and complicated for you. So better join now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Just to add briefly. Yeah.
You add on
and
something?
He was saying you're making friends. They normally tell us that your network is your network.
Yeah.
So we need to build our networks. And also when it comes to climate justice, indeed no man is an island. Everyone can play a role in achieving climate justice, in being part of the solution. So your small step can really make a difference to the world. So join us as we take climate action.
Okay, thank you so much. And today we have been at the EcoLive podcast, and your moderator today, Luganda David. I'm a climate communication specialist, working with a network of climate journalists in the Greater Horn of Africa. Our theme today was Voices of Change, Young Leaders Driving Climate Justice, and also on my side, Winnie Mirembe, and on my other side is Godwin Mayanja. We want to say that we shall come back with another episode, and we have really made sure that we enjoy, we dissect, we make sure we unpack this topic of climate justice and youth voices within our community.